The Lord, the God of Israel, said this to me, Jeremiah, take this cup of wine from my hand. It is the wine of my anger. I am sending you to different nations. Make all the nations drink from this cup. They will drink this wine. Then they will vomit and act like crazy people. They will do this because of the war that I will soon bring against them. So I took the cup of wine from the Lord's hand. I went to those nations, and I made them drink from the cup. I poured this wine for the people of Jerusalem and Judah. I made the kings and the leaders of Judah drink from the cup. I did this so that they would become an empty desert. I did this so that place would be destroyed so badly that people would whistle and say curses about it. And it happened. Judah is like that now. I also made Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, drink from that cup. I made his officials, his important leaders, and all his people drink from it. I also made all the Arabs and all the kings of the land of Uz drink from the cup. I made all the kings of the land of the Philistines drink from the cup. These were the kings of the cities of Ashkelon, Gaza, Ekron, and what remains of the city of Ashdod. Then I made the people of Edom, Moab, and Ammon drink from the cup. I made all the kings of Tyre and Sidon drink from the cup. I also made all the kings of the faraway countries drink from that cup. I made the people of Dedan, Tema, and Buz drink from the cup. I made all those who cut their hair at their temples drink from the cup. I made all the kings of Arabia drink from the cup. These kings live in the desert. I made all the kings from Zimri, Elam, and Media drink from the cup. I made all the kings of the north, those who were near and far, drink from the cup. I made them drink one after the other. I made all the kingdoms that are on the earth drink from that cup. Finally, after all these other nations, the king of Babylon will drink from it too. Jeremiah, say to those nations, this is what the Lord All-Powerful, the God of the people of Israel, says. Drink this cup of my anger. Get drunk from it and vomit. Fall down and don't get up. Don't get up because I am bringing wars against you. They will refuse to take the cup from your hand. They will refuse to drink it. But you will tell them, this is what the Lord All-Powerful says. You will surely drink from this cup. I am already making these bad things happen to Jerusalem, the city that is called by my name. Maybe you people think that you will not be punished, but you are wrong. You will be punished. I am giving the command for war to come against all the people of the earth. This message is from the Lord. Jeremiah, you will give them this message. The Lord shouts from above. He shouts from his holy temple. He shouts against his people. His shouts are loud like the songs of people walking on grapes to make wine. The noise spreads to all the people on earth. What is all the noise about? The Lord tells why he is punishing all the nations. He has given his arguments against them. He has judged them, and now he is killing the wicked with his sword. This message is from the Lord. This is what the Lord All-Powerful says. Disasters will soon spread from country to country. They will come like a powerful storm to all the faraway places on earth. The dead bodies of those killed by the Lord will reach from one end of the earth to the other. No one will cry for them. No one will gather up their bodies and bury them. They will be left lying on the ground like dung. Shepherds, you should be leading the sheep. Start crying, you great leaders. Roll around on the ground in pain, you leaders of the sheep. It is now time for your slaughter. You will be scattered everywhere, like pieces flying from a broken jar. There will be no place for the shepherds to hide. They will not escape. I hear the shepherds shouting. I hear the leaders of the sheep crying, because the Lord is destroying their pastures. Those peaceful pastures will be ruined because of the Lord's anger. He is like an angry lion that has left its cave. And because of his terrible anger, and by the attacks of the enemy army, their land will become an empty desert. The message from the Lord came to Jeremiah. This was during the 4th year that Jehoiakim, son of Josiah, was king of Judah. This was the message from the Lord. Jeremiah, get a scroll and write on it all the messages I have spoken to you. I have spoken to you about the nations of Israel and Judah and all the other nations. Write all the words that I have spoken to you from the time that Josiah was king until now. Maybe the people of Judah will hear what I am planning to do to them and will stop doing bad things. If they will do that, I will forgive them for the terrible sins they have committed." So Jeremiah called a man named Baruch, son of Neriah. Jeremiah spoke the messages the Lord had given him. While he spoke, Baruch wrote the messages on a scroll. Then Jeremiah said to Baruch, "I cannot go to the Lord's temple. I am not allowed to go there. So I want you to go to the temple of the Lord. Go there on a day of fasting and read to the people from the scroll. Read to the people the messages from the Lord that you wrote on the scroll as I spoke them to you. Read them to all the people of Judah who come into Jerusalem from the towns where they live. Perhaps they will ask the Lord to help them. Perhaps each person will stop doing bad things. The Lord has announced that he is very angry with them." So Baruch, son of Neriah, did everything Jeremiah the prophet told him to do. Baruch read aloud the scroll that had the Lord's messages written on it. He read it in the Lord's temple. In the 9th month of the 5th year that Jehoiakim was king, a fast was announced. All those who lived in the city of Jerusalem and everyone who had come into Jerusalem from the towns of Judah were supposed to fast before the Lord. At that time, Baruch read the scroll that contained Jeremiah's words. He read the scroll in the temple of the Lord to all the people who were there. Baruch was in the room of Gemariah in the upper courtyard when he read from the scroll. That room was located at the entrance of the new gate of the temple. Gemariah was the son of Shaphan. Gemariah was a scribe in the temple. A man named Micaiah heard all the messages from the Lord that Baruch read from the scroll. Micaiah was the son of Gemariah, the son of Shaphan. When Micaiah heard the messages from the scroll, he went down to the secretary's room in the king's palace. All the royal officials were sitting there in the king's palace. These are the names of the officials: Elishama the secretary, Delaiah son of Shemaiah, Elnathan son of Akbor, Gemariah son of Shaphan, Zedekiah son of Hananiah. All the other royal officials were there too. Micaiah told them everything he had heard Baruch read from the scroll. Then all the officials sent a man named Jehudi to Baruch. Jehudi was the son of Nethaniah, son of Shelemiah. Shelemiah was the son of Cushi. Jehudi said to Baruch, "Bring the scroll that you read from and come with me." Baruch, son of Neriah, took the scroll and went with Jehudi to the officials. Then the officials said to Baruch, "Sit down and read the scroll to us." So Baruch read the scroll to them. When the royal officials heard all the messages from the scroll, they were afraid and looked at one another. They said to Baruch, "We must tell King Jehoiakim about these messages on the scroll." Then the officials asked Baruch, "Tell us, Baruch, where did you get these messages that you wrote on the scroll? Did you write down what Jeremiah said to you?" "Yes," Baruch answered. "Jeremiah spoke, and I wrote down all the messages with ink on this scroll." Then the royal officials said to Baruch, "You and Jeremiah must go and hide. Don't tell anyone where you are hiding." Then the royal officials put the scroll in the room of Elishama, the scribe. They went to King Jehoiakim and told him all about the scroll. So King Jehoiakim sent Jehudi to get the scroll. Jehudi brought the scroll from the room of Elishama, the scribe. Then Jehudi read the scroll to the king and all the servants who stood around the king. The time this happened was in the 9th month. So King Jehoiakim was sitting in the part of the palace used for winter. There was a fire burning in a small fireplace in front of the king. Jehudi began to read from the scroll, but after he would read 2 or 3 columns, King Jehoiakim would grab the scroll. Then he would cut those columns off the scroll with a small knife and throw them into the fireplace. Finally, the whole scroll was burned in the fire. And when King Jehoiakim and his servants heard the message from the scroll, they were not afraid. They did not tear their clothes to show sorrow for doing wrong. Elnathan, Delaiah, and Gemariah tried to talk King Jehoiakim out of burning the scroll, but he would not listen to them. Instead, King Jehoiakim commanded some men to arrest Baruch the scribe and Jeremiah the prophet. These men were Jeremiel, a son of the king, Sariah, son of Azriel, and Shelemiah, son of Abdeel. But they could not find Baruch and Jeremiah, because the Lord had hidden them. King Jehoiakim burned the scroll in which Baruch had written all the words that Jeremiah had spoken to him. Then this message from the Lord came to Jeremiah. Get another scroll. Write all the messages on it that were on the first scroll that King Jehoiakim of Judah burned. Also tell King Jehoiakim of Judah that this is what the Lord says. Jehoiakim, you burned that scroll. You said, why did Jeremiah write that the king of Babylon will surely come and destroy this land and kill all the people and animals in it? So this is what the Lord says about King Jehoiakim of Judah. Jehoiakim's descendants will not sit on David's throne. When Jehoiakim dies, he will not get a king's funeral, but his body will be thrown out on the ground. His body will be left out in the heat of the day, in the cold frost of the night. I will punish Jehoiakim and his children, and I will punish his officials. I will do this because they are wicked. I will bring terrible disasters on them and all those who live in Jerusalem and on the people from Judah. I will bring all these bad things on them, just as I warned them, because they have not listened to me. Then Jeremiah took another scroll and gave it to Baruch, son of Neriah, the scribe. As Jeremiah spoke, Baruch wrote on the scroll the same messages that were on the scroll that King Jehoiakim had burned in the fire. And many other words like those messages were added to the second scroll. In the 4th year that Jehoiakim, son of Josiah, was king of Judah, Jeremiah the prophet spoke these things to Baruch, son of Neriah. Baruch wrote them on a scroll. This is what Jeremiah said to Baruch. This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says to you. Baruch, you have said, it is very bad for me. The Lord has given me sorrow along with my pain. I am very tired. I am worn out because of my suffering. I cannot find rest. Jeremiah, tell Baruch that this is what the Lord says. I will tear down what I have built, and I will pull up what I have planted. I will do that everywhere in Judah. Baruch, you are looking for great things for yourself. Don't look for them, because I will make terrible things happen to all the people. This is what the Lord said. You will have to go many places, but I will let you escape alive wherever you go. These messages about different nations came to Jeremiah the prophet from the Lord. This message is about the nation of Egypt. It is about the army of Pharaoh Necho, king of Egypt. His army was defeated at the town of Carchemish. Carchemish is on the Euphrates River. King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon defeated the army of Pharaoh Necho at Carchemish in the 4th year that Jehoiakim son of Josiah was king of Judah. The Lord said, get your large and small shields ready. March out for battle. Get the horses ready. Soldiers, get on your horses. Go to your places for battle. Put your helmets on. Sharpen your spears. Put your armor on. What do I see? That army is afraid. The soldiers are running away. Their brave soldiers are defeated. They run away in a hurry. They don't look back. There is danger all around. This is what the Lord said. Fast men cannot run away. Strong soldiers cannot escape. They will all stumble and fall. This will happen in the north, by the Euphrates River. Who is coming like the Nile River? Who is coming like that strong, fast river? It is Egypt that comes like the rising Nile River. It is Egypt that comes like the strong, fast river. Egypt says, I will come and cover the earth. I will destroy the cities and the people in them. Horse soldiers, charge into battle. Chariot drivers, drive fast. March on, brave soldiers. Soldiers from Cush and Put, carry your shields. Soldiers from Lydia, use your bows. But on that day, the Lord God All-Powerful will win. He will give his enemies the punishment they deserve. His sword will kill until it is finished, until it has satisfied its thirst for blood. Yes, the Lord God All-Powerful will kill them as a sacrifice in the land of the north by the Euphrates River. Egypt, go to Gilead and get some medicine. You will make up many medications, but they will not help. You will not be healed. The nations will hear your crying. Your cries will be heard all over the earth. One brave soldier will run into another brave soldier, and both brave soldiers will fall down together. This is the message the Lord spoke to Jeremiah the prophet about Nebuchadnezzar coming to attack Egypt. Announce this message in Egypt. Tell it in the city of Migdol. Tell it in Memphis and Tahpanhes. Get ready for war, because people all around you are being killed with swords. Egypt, your strong soldiers will be killed. They will not be able to stand because the Lord will push them down. They will stumble again and again. They will fall over each other. They will say, "Get up, let's go back to our own people. Let us go back to our homeland. Our enemy is defeating us. We must get away." In their homelands, those soldiers will say, "Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, is only a lot of noise. His time of glory is over." This message is from the king. The king is the Lord all-powerful. I promise, as surely as I live, a powerful leader will come. He will be like Mount Tabor or Mount Carmel among smaller mountains. People of Egypt, pack your things. Get ready for captivity, because Memphis will be a ruined, empty land. Those cities will be destroyed, and no one will live there. Egypt is like a beautiful cow, but a horsefly is coming from the north to attack her. The hired soldiers in Egypt's army are like fat calves. They will all turn and run away. They will not stand strong against the attack. Their time of destruction is coming. They will soon be punished. Egypt is like a snake hissing and trying to escape. The enemy comes closer and closer, and the Egyptian army is trying to slither away. The enemy will attack Egypt with axes, like men cutting down trees. This is what the Lord says. They will chop down Egypt's forest. There are many trees in that forest, but they will all be cut down. There are more enemy soldiers than locusts. There are so many soldiers that no one can count them. Egypt will be ashamed. The enemy from the north will defeat her. The Lord all-powerful, the God of Israel, says, "Very soon I will punish Ammon, the god of thieves, and I will punish Pharaoh, Egypt, and her gods. I will punish the kings of Egypt, and I will punish the people who depend on Pharaoh. I will let all of them be defeated by their enemies. Their enemies want to kill them. I will give the people to King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon and his servants." Long ago, Egypt lived in peace, and after all these times of trouble, Egypt will live in peace again. This is what the Lord said. "Jacob, my servant, do not be afraid. Do not be frightened, Israel. I will save you from those faraway places. I will save your children from the countries where they are captives. Jacob will have peace and safety again, and no one will make him afraid." This is what the Lord says. "Jacob, my servant, do not be afraid. I am with you. I sent you away to many different places. But I will not destroy you completely, but I will destroy all those nations. You must be punished for the bad things you did, so I will not let you escape your punishment. I will discipline you, but I will be fair.